7 weird lessons from Zig Ziglar. Who is Zig Ziglar? Well, you are about to find out. What I'm about to share with you in the next few moments is information that could seriously revolutionize your life. Look, success always leaves clues. And when you look at people like Zig Ziglar, who was a former US Navy officer as well as best-selling author and motivational speaker, you realized he influenced the lives of thousands, millions of people all over the world. And what I want to do is share with you some of the weird lessons that I have learned from him. Now, weird might seem like a weird word, but what does weird actually mean? It means kind of out of the ordinary, different. And I think we all really need to do things differently, because if we don't do things differently, we'll carry on doing things as we are doing them. And I don't know how that's working out for you. Why exactly are you watching this video? Chances are you're watching this video because you are somewhere and there's somewhere you want to go. You want to make progress. You want to do more, be more, achieve more. And if that's what you want to do, there is always going to be a price to pay. So you can see 7 lessons on here that I'm going to share with you. But before we get stuck in, I want to also just explain to you, how did I come across Zig Ziglar? I was thinking before, who named someone Zig Ziglar? I have no idea. It's a great name. I might change my name to Peter Ziglar or Zig Cohen. I'm not sure. You can tell me. I came across Zig Ziglar when I finished university. I studied psychology. Have to be brutally honest, I didn't really learn that much that I can actually remember. We really looked a lot at what was wrong with people and theories, and I was bored. I was a bit depressed, to be honest, because I really didn't know what to do with my life. I was going on holiday, and I said to a friend of mine, can you recommend a book to me to read when I'm on holiday? And he said, yeah, read this, Over the Top by Zig Ziglar. And I went to Switzerland on holiday and I didn't put the book down. I couldn't believe some of the practical wisdom that this man was sharing with me, some of what I'm about to share with you. And I just became a junkie for this type of information, personal development in action. And I remember coming home and being inspired myself to actually start writing, but I wanted to read more. I went into a bookshop. I said, hey, do you have anything like this book? And they said, yeah, this book. And that book was Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. And for those of you that follow this channel, you know that we've done a video on Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn, all of these people who have positively impacted the lives of so many people, including myself, who have encouraged me to go on and do the same things for others. So let's get stuck in. Let's get stuck in to lesson number 1. Know where you are. Where are you right now? Where are you? Now, I didn't actually mean where are you in the world, but feel free to let me know. What I'm talking about and what Zig Ziglar was talking about is the importance of knowing where you are in terms of how do you feel about where you are right now, and kind of opening up to the present circumstances that you're in. Because if we don't really open our eyes to where we are, I don't think we'll ever really have the courage and the conviction to change. Most of us are living life on what he would call some sort of autopilot, never really going anywhere, being someone going nowhere, rather than deciding on becoming someone and going after that. And it's absolutely essential to take some time out, and I encourage you to do that. Don't look at it as right or wrong. You've been doing probably the best that you can until this moment. And some people, when they know better, they do better. But know where you are and ask yourself, how do I feel about where I am right now? And then the next thing, as we move on to lesson number 2, is he talks about Zig Ziglar about, look, when we sleep, we dream. But often when we wake up in the morning, we stop dreaming. We go again into autopilot. And he talks about keeping the dreams alive. One of the greatest gifts that we've been given is the ability to dream. And with dreaming, basically, it's an idea. You have the idea of something. I know I'm going to have this idea of starting a business or traveling the world or writing a book. You have the idea. That is a dream. It's just an ideal. You've got to dream every single day. If you don't dream every single day, what you'll probably do is just deviate to how everyone else is moving through the world. Open up your eyes, look around, and realize how many other people do you think there are who have ideas, but they don't do anything. They forget about their dreams. Know where you are and keep your dreams alive every single day. Stick to your dreams. And then lesson number 3 is keep your word. Such a simple thing to say. There's no rocket science in any of this stuff. This is practical wisdom. Wisdom through the ages, that when people actually apply this stuff, their life changes beyond anything that they could possibly imagine. Keep your word. Now, keeping your word really has a lot to do with confidence. And the word confidence actually comes from the Latin word confidere, which means intense trust. If you want to learn to trust yourself, keep your word. I dare you to do this, and you see your life change in ways that you probably couldn't even imagine when you start to do what you say you're going to do. There is a part of your brain that literally remembers every single time you've said you're going to do something and you haven't done it. That's why often when we say we're going to do something, we might not feel like we're actually going to do it, because our brain's going, whoa, 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 hold on. You've said that so many times and you don't do it. If you want your life to change, then you've got to be the change. Do what you say you are going to do. It's such a simple thing, and I dare you to do it. I'd love to know what happens. The reason we put all of these videos out is that we are so inspired about giving people this type of information, create an environment where they can actually start to do it. So do it. Lesson number 4, do it now. What does that mean? Have you ever heard of procrastinating? Have you ever procrastinating? Have you ever put something off? If you look at some of Zig Ziglar's videos on YouTube, there's one particular one where he talks about someone who's always saying they're going to do something. Hey, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, but I'll do it later, and 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 I'll do it later, year after year, decade after decade, and nothing ever gets done. When is the most important time to do something? Do it now. Who recognizes this? Well, the successful people among us, and also the successful companies. Look at Nike, or Nike, depending how you say it. What's their adage? What do they say? Just do it. Because they know that you could just do it, or they also know that you could just not do it. That you could just put on your running shoes and go for a run, or you could just not do it. And that is where our power really comes, to take the action. So don't wait to feel something. Just get started. How many people do you think there are in the world right now who don't feel like doing something, and because they don't feel like doing it, they won't do it? One of these, it seems like a weird lesson because most people aren't doing it, but if you want your life to transform, do what you say you're going to do, and do it now. So lesson number 5, make tomorrow today. Again, if you watch some of Zig Ziglar's videos on YouTube, he's no longer here, but it's great that his words still are. His wisdom is still here. He talks about the people who want to lose weight, who literally don't take ownership of what they're doing today is going to make them overweight tomorrow. We need to live for tomorrow, today. This is one of the things I say to so many people is think about what you're doing today will build your tomorrow. Invest in your tomorrow today. Lesson number 6, let's just get busy. Again, you can watch this video of Zig Ziglar with this pump, and he's got a packed audience, and he's pumping on this pump like this, and he says, you've got to get busy, 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 you've got to get busy. And most people, if they had to do something like this every single day, eventually they would just stop it. He talks about it being a well. You literally just got to, if you want to pump for water or oil, you've literally just got to get busy and pull and pull and pull and pull and pull and pull. And even when you feel like giving up, you're always 3 feet from goal, you just keep going, you keep going, and you keep going, and maybe a little drop comes out, but you keep going, and then all of a sudden it starts to come. And when it comes, you don't actually have to keep doing this. You've got something moving. You've then got something going. And we know that most people, when the going gets tough, they give up. But the people that apply these principles, when things get tough, they just keep going because they put these principles in place. And finally, set goals. Now, you've probably heard this before, but what I want you to do, I want you to take a moment to imagine this. You've been asked to go to a game of soccer, a game of football, or whatever sport that you like, or maybe even don't like, it doesn't matter. Imagine going to a stadium, there are 2 teams, it's a big final, there's loads of excitement, you're walking towards the stadium, you can hear the crowd, and you can feel the anticipation. You can hear the crowd screaming and shouting, and there's so much energy there. And then you go in and you take your seat, and then you realize no one's sitting down, everyone's just looking around. And then all of a sudden the game starts. And as the game starts, you realize that there's something missing. There's no goals. Now, how long would you stick around if there were no goals, if people were just kicking the ball around to themselves? You wouldn't. Most people would just say, this is really boring. We are what the Greeks called teleological. We need goals. And this is one of the big things that Zig Ziglar talks about, that if you don't set goals, you just go round and round and round and round in circles. If you apply these principles and you decide to set goals with your health, your energy, your relationships, your wealth, your work, and you go to work on being busy and you apply these principles, knowing where you are every single day, connecting to what it is that you want to go after, keeping your word, doing what you need to do, not now, but right now, and building tomorrow, today. Getting busy all the time and checking in with your goals. I think one of the best ways to do this is to work with people. Get yourself around some like-minded people. Get yourself a coach. And, I've written 19 books myself, and many of those books have been inspired by people like Zig Ziglar. My best-selling book, Inspirators, is actually about being inspired and actually taking the lead in your life, being the leader that you want to follow. And if you want to get a copy of that book, we can show you how. I want to thank you for listening. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. There's loads of great content here. And I want to thank Zig Ziglar, because his words did change my life. I hadn't written a book, and this was before I'd read this book, and this was the first book I read, Over the Top by Zig Ziglar. So I hope you take something positive away from this, and we will see you next time.